homegrown sons and veterans is Doug Klemz, who graciously accepted to offer a Veterans Day message today.
Ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary things. Simply put, that's who veterans are. Young and old, rich and poor, black and white, and nearly every category in between, they are the men and women who served or still serve in the United States of America. Some have endured great hardships, separation from family, and drastically altered lifestyles. Some have experienced the horrors of war. All sacrificed some sacrificed all, so that we can enjoy the freedoms we have today. Fewer than 10% of Americans can claim the title military veteran. And what a list of accomplishments can those 10% claim? From defeating some of the most evil oppressors in the history of the world, as well as fascism, imperialism, and communism, to keeping the peace during the Cold War and battling terrorism today, America owes a debt to her veterans that can never be repaid. Borrowing from Winston Churchill's sentiments towards the American forces who helped win the Battle of Britain, never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary things. In 1974, then Governor Ronald Reagan, speaking of many veterans, introduced returning POW John McCain at a speaking engagement and asked, "Where do we find such men?" Answering his own question, he stated, "We find them in our streets, in the offices, the shops, on the farms, and the working places of our country." Today, America's service members and veterans are no less extraordinary. Our future service members can be found in the same locales as the veterans who went before. Today's military is an all-volunteer force. There has been no draft. No one has been forced into service. We, the veterans and service members of the United States of America, chose to accept the responsibility of our nation's defense freely and do not view this responsibility as a burden or an inconvenience, but as a privilege to have been allowed to serve. Today, we honor the living veterans from the greatest generation to the latest generation. But we must honor their sacrifice with deeds, not just words. We must take counsel of our first Commander-in-Chief, General George Washington, who said, "The willingness with which our young people will fight in any war, no matter how justified, should be directly proportional as to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their country." We, the citizens, business leaders, and elected officials of the United States need to honor the sacrifices of our veterans with our deeds, not just our words. Honor our veterans by investing in the relationships within our community, creating an environment conducive to the creation of jobs and opportunity. Stay involved in youth and community programs that will help keep our youth and community physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight, to borrow from the Boy Scout oath. We are up for the challenge individually, as a community, and on the national stage. Again, ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary things. It is the veterans that have given us this extraordinary country. Let's remember their sacrifice not only today, but every day, through our actions and contributions towards keeping America strong and prosperous. This has been my honor and privilege. Veterans, thank you for your service. God bless our veterans. God bless America. Semper Fidelis.
To include 1,154,231 Americans who have died for freedom since the Revolution in too many wars. And I would have you, in your own way, picture in your mind the face of just one of these men or women as we lift them up to God's grace. Will you do that, please?